They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Gone! Here we go now. Blue landing! Blue landing!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Detroit!
Rosen off the play action. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 38. They go play action with Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Robert Nkemdiche in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On 1st down, Wilson. Over the middle to Beckham. And they do get him down, but not to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Good jumbo! Good jumbo!
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Touch 50, touch 50.
Here's Penny. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
19.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old thing.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from
looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball. They were looking for Johnson that time. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
After the interception, here's Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Brockers in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. 3rd and long here for Rosen. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side able to get a hand in.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play that time for the Seahawks. And even 60 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back. And
he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Josh Jones in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Forced out to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive 1st half to get that lead. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals. Play action here with Rosen. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Looking sideline, incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Leopard! Leopard!
Rosen again on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Gone! 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 Gone!
On 3rd down, Rosen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
19.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Mike 51. 12. Gotta go. 18.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He finds Beckham complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw again is Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for Seattle. 51 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And he is in for the touchdown.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Lucky 56.
Off the play fake, here's Rosen. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
They go play action. It's Rosen. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the shotgun, Wilson. From left side, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. throwing on first down. Wilson, and he fires one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? A first down carry here for Johnson. And a short gain here down to the 22. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this.
Detroit!
On play action, Rosen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriot.
From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run it with Johnson, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Johnson on an island by himself in the backfield, second and goal. They get it to him running left. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Cardinals on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're looking at a third and goal here.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
He's going to air this out deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Rosen on 1st and 10. Dumping it off for Johnson. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw is Rosen. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. From the red zone now, here's Rosen on first down. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Zuerlein's kick is good. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And out now come the Seahawks. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He sets to fire deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Penny, a first down carry. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, we got four down. Shotgun. Fair.
On second down, Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Detroit. 95.
Here's a give to Penny, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Again, it's Penny, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that will extend their lead now up to 22. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work the run.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here we go now.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that would help him in contract time. You could have kicked that one short.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bash.
Super toe.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Got it. 95.
They'll run it again with Penny. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A handoff to Penny. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Come on, let's go. 19.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Penny. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Play action. Now Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Robert Nkemdiche in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
3 down.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. And Myers able to knock it through. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist released and pushed down. Michael Brockers in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. The Cardinals on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here's Sam Martin now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Come on, in and out. Come on, tempo. 4 down. Check.
On 1st down, Wilson. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. Now Rashad Penny. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The pitch goes to Penny. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I know we're in the era of wide open football, a lot of spread formations, more space. But there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants a football in his hands. He's had a good day. On the run, it's Penny. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Tackle made there by Budda Baker.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Let's go get it, baby. Let's go. Shotgun. Gun.
Now Wilson on second down. He's going to air one out. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Here's Johnson. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Rosen. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The tight end, Kelsey, was the intended target. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Penny. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll toss it to Penny. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Don't take forever, okay?
This is Penny. Shutting defenders at the 15. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now it's Penny. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. The toss running left. This is Penny. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, the rough season continues as they plunge to 1-13. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So for our
feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda said the standards in the tear down. Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to it's talking, it's hot, so leave me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reason looked out, it's clear to see. All eyes on me for 100 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hated or love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player, you ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I make the sacrifice and super duper fly. Juicy, keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads. Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid, but never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, you already lived. It was written in the children's story. Their life's so what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could jump me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money, quiet storm, have it stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the I'm a player on the late night till. So